you're watching this video right now, more than likely you're on your weight loss journey. But you thought to yourself, man, it's gotta be an easier way. I can't be spending hours in the gym. I'm tired of starving myself and giving up the foods that I enjoy eating. Listen, there is an easier way. And I'm pretty sure if you're watching right now, you're aware you can't outwork poor nutrition habits. Nutrition is 80, 90% of being able to drop body fat. And so in this video, I'm gonna share with you 4 simple steps on how to dial in your nutrition plan. That way you can drop the weight and keep it off going into 2025. All right. And so the first thing is this. You know, a lot of trainers, they talk about, you got to track your calories. You got to get your macros on point. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you ain't going to lose the weight. And that is important, but there's something that most trainers are not talking about that we need to dial in first before we even get to that point. Okay. And so the first thing is this. You got to start mindfully eating. I see a lot of guys who be hitting me up and they're not even eating fruit. They're not eating vegetables. They're not eating proteins. And so this is the first place we want to start before we even try to do some type of calorie deficit. Because if you're eating less, but you're not eating the right types of food, man, you're going to feel like shit. If you're eating processed food every day, junk food every day, you're eating out all the time, guys, I'm one of the type of coaches, I do want you to drop weight. I want you to feel good in your clothes. I want you to feel proud of yourself when you take your clothes off. But if you're not eating healthy and the right type of foods, you're going to feel terrible, man. Okay? So it's very important that we focus on this part first. And so being mindful is just being aware of how often are you eating out? Are you drinking too much alcohol? Are you eating fibrous foods like fruits and vegetables? Are you drinking too much sodas? When you're eating too much processed foods and sugars, you're not going to feel good. And so this is the first place we want to start. Just start eating more clean, nutritionally dense foods. And when I say nutritionally dense foods, I'm talking about protein, steak. It could be fish. If you're pescatarian, you can eat fish, you can eat salmon. You can eat chicken, you can eat eggs, fruits, vegetables, things like that. That's just eating mindfully. Okay, that's the first phase because I want you to feel good. This is why on my social media like Facebook and Instagram, I give away like a grocery list to a lot of people because I want to help you in your first part of your journey. I want to help you just be aware of, okay, what food should I and should I not be eating? Now, once we get that part down pat, you're feeling better, right? Next phase, part 2, we want to simplify our lifestyle. I don't know if you like me, but I be super busy, man. And so I remember back in the days, I got to the point where I was so busy, sometimes I wouldn't have eaten yet. And I found myself saying to myself, what am I going to eat? I'm so hungry, I can't even think straight. I just want to find something fast to eat. And a lot of times it wasn't always the best foods. And that's what be happening to a lot of people because they don't know what their go-to foods are. And this is what I call the rule of 3. Okay, stick with me now. The rule of 3 is this. What are your top 3 breakfasts? What are your top 3 lunches and dinners, right? And the reason I say this is because we want to, rotate the meals we eat, especially if you get bored with eating the same foods all the time. All right, so if you get tired of eating one breakfast, let's say you're getting tired of eating eggs, you can start eating egg whites. You get tired of eating egg whites and eggs, you can go to eating steak or something. You see what I'm saying? Because all of them are proteins, right? You get tired of eating, like I like eating asparagus. But if I get tired of eating asparagus, then I can go to eating shaved Brussels sprouts. I head my ass right over to Whole Foods and get a little bag of shaved Brussels sprouts. Right? Make it easy for me. I'm a little bougie. And so this is what you can do. Whatever fruits and vegetables and proteins you like to eat, you can rotate these foods to simplify your life. And so whenever lunch is coming up and you don't have anything planned out, you already have in your mind, these are the types of foods I can eat for lunch. These are the types of foods I can eat for dinner. And to take it even further, let's say you're eating out. Let's say you're going to a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant or something like that. Obviously, it's not the healthiest, right? But sometimes that's just how life is. We just be super busy. And so, for example, for me, I'll go to Chipotle. Out here in Atlanta, we had this place called Kill Me Crazy. I'll go there. I'll go to Chick-fil-A sometimes. Like you guys don't have to be perfect. All right? You do not have to eat chicken, sell your soul to chicken and broccoli to drop weight. You don't have to do that. All right. But I have my top 3 go-tos. All right. That's why I say the rule of 3. right? And if I get tired of eating Chick-fil-A, I'll go over to Chipotle. I get tired of eating Chipotle, I'll go to Kill Me Crazy or Kava or something like that, right? That's the rule of three. That's gonna simplify your life. And so that way, when life is busy, you already have an idea. Like it doesn't always have to be the food is prepped. You don't have to live like a bodybuilder unless you want to, but you already have an idea mentally prepared what you're gonna eat. Okay, that's the second thing. The third thing is if your ass ain't tracking, you're slacking, man. All right, I get so many. Guys, I've been doing this 15 years, and I get so many people who reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram and even YouTube, and they be like, "Man, coach, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I feel like I'm doing everything right. I'm hitting the gym. I'm eating healthy. Man, this weight ain't going down. I'm tired of stepping on the scale and feeling disappointed." And the reason that happens is just eating healthy does not mean you're going to lose weight. Just eating healthy does not mean you're going to lose fat. All right. And so, what's most important to drop body fat, you do have to eat a certain amount of food to start dropping body fat. All right. If you eat too much healthy food, you're not going to lose weight. You could be eating all healthy food. This is why y'all see sometimes you see vegans and vegetarians. You're like, man, all they eating is healthy food. Why are they still overweight? Because they're overeating. So it's very important that you're aware of how much you're eating. You can go on Google and type in TDEE calculator. That stands for total daily energy expenditure. It's gonna give you a number. You're gonna have to put in like some information. It'll give you a number, and then you can reduce that amount by, let's say, 3,500 calories, and then that's what you start eating on a daily basis. All right. Very important that you track it though, because if you're not tracking it, you won't know. It's like somebody who's they're trying to make more money, but they're not paying attention and tracking how much money's coming into my bank account versus how much going out. If you're not tracking it, you're gonna have inconsistency with your income. You see what I'm saying? And even if you're spending too much than what's going in, right? Same thing with weight loss. If you're not tracking how much is going in versus your physical activity level and how much you actually need to eat to burn body fat, guys, you won't lose weight, okay? So it's very, very important that you track your calorie intake and your protein intake. You don't have to do all the macros, guys. You don't have to do all that. Unless you're trying to be a bodybuilder, you do not have to know all of your macros, one step at a time, okay? Understand how many calories you're eating, and then as far as your protein intake, you can have, like, you multiply your current body weight times 0.8, and if you want to eat a little bit more protein, then multiply your current body weight times 1, okay? That's how you could do it. Like a lower amount, multiply your body weight times 0.8. If you want a higher amount of protein, multiply your body weight times 1. All right, and that's how much grams of protein you eat on a daily basis. Very, very important, because a person, you can have two people. You can have one person who's just like eating a certain amount of calories, let's say 2,000 calories, and they're barely eating any protein. They're eating a lot of carbs and fats. And then you can have somebody else who's eating the same amount of calories, 2,000, but they're eating more protein. The person who's eating more protein is going to drop more body fat and not just lose weight. And if you like me, man, you want to look good in your clothes. You want to look good when you take your clothes off. Your ass better be eating some protein, all right? And it actually helps you feel more full for longer. It increases your metabolism up. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important that you eat protein, and also helps you build more muscle and recover from your workouts. A lot of benefits, all right? So eat protein. That's the third thing. Last thing, guys, give yourself some grace, man. Give yourself some grace. This shit does not have to be perfect. You do not have to sell your soul to the chicken and broccoli diet. You do not have to eat salads every single day of the week. You do not have to give up alcohol. And I'm not saying alcohol doesn't do anything good for weight loss, but you don't have to give it up completely. You don't have to, basically what I'm saying is, you don't have to give up the things that you enjoy. If there's certain foods you know you like eating, like guys, I stay out here in Atlanta. I'm a Georgia boy. I like eating Waffle House, but I'm not eating it all the time. I like drinking an old fashioned or a smoked old fashioned, but I'm not drinking it all the time. You see what I'm saying? And so you got to have some balance with it. But when I say give yourself grace, you can still enjoy yourself along your weight loss journey. Because if you find yourself doing these crazy restrictive diets just to drop weight quickly, what's going to happen in a couple of weeks or months? You're going to start thinking to yourself, man, All I can think of, man, I just want me a pizza, man. Man, I just want me a burger and a fry. Man, and you find yourself splurging. And then you fall off. And then you feel disappointed. And you're like, damn, I done messed up all my results. I done gained 10, 15, 20 pounds back because you didn't give yourself grace along the journey. This is a journey, man. This is a lifestyle. This is not about losing weight real fast. Can you lose weight fairly quickly? Yes. But you have to do it in a way where when you get that weight off, you can keep it off. And this comes down to understanding what are the habits that I can sustain. What are the routines that I can sustain? And if you know you can't sustain giving up sugar, you know you can't sustain giving up a soda every maybe a day or two out the week. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is you know you enjoy doing, right? And maybe you have family. You want to eat with your family. And you don't want to feel like you got to eat salad while your family eating pizza. You see what I'm saying? Like you still want to enjoy yourself. And so make sure that you build a lifestyle that's sustainable. This is the whole point. This is how you lose weight and keep it off. You cannot out-train poor nutrition habits. This is why I want to give you a game plan, like simple steps that you could take with your nutrition to drop weight and keep it off. Like I used to do bodybuilding, okay? And when I was doing bodybuilding, I was working out 7 days a week on a Stairmaster for like a full hour. And like it was so long in the gym. When I left the gym, I couldn't even remember where my damn car was at, y'all. And so, but I couldn't really even enjoy myself though. You see what I'm saying? And after I got done doing bodybuilding, all I could think about, I had a red velvet cake in my car after my second bodybuilding show because I didn't eat that red velvet cake the whole prep leading up to my show because that was all I was thinking about. You see what I'm saying? And so I just splurged. You don't want to be like that. You want to be able to enjoy yourself throughout the journey. So that way you can get the results and keep the results. So don't look at all these bodybuilders like they're doing it and it's very restrictive. They're doing it and so that way when they step on stage, they're ripped. Guys, we can't look like that year round. Even the bodybuilders, they don't look like that year round. That's why they be in prep season and seasons where they not in prep. And so once I stopped doing bodybuilding, I was like, man, I don't have to be that ripped, but I just want to be able to see my abs. I want to be able to feel proud about how I look when I take my clothes off or when I wear certain shirts. Like I'm a fashion guy, so I want to look good. You know what I'm saying? And so I said to myself, well, I'm not going to eat cake every day. I'm not going to eat cake every week. But I do want to include it into my nutrition regimen. I do want to include burgers and fries and going to Shake Shack or eating like pizza every now and then, which you can do. And so you still have to be aware of how much you're eating though. This is why I just talked about if you're not tracking, you slacking. And so once you get these things dialed in and you give yourself some grace so that way you can enjoy the process, you have that structure, you're aware of what type of foods you need to be eating and what are going to be your go-tos, you'll be able to get this weight off and keep it off. All right. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, leave your boy subscribe, and so that way you can see more of the videos, right? And if there's certain things, certain topics you want me to talk more about, go ahead and comment down below whatever topics you want to hear from me, and I'll be sharing those as well. We out. Let go.